Waves are beginning.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
In your hands, you hold 16 days of coldest April. By Yeket, indeed, the book is unusually heavy. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. The back cover is dominated by a black... She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, in cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Tequila Sunset. What's it about? Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck. All right. Hey, Abs. Hey.
Don't you? You call her.
I need you to sign this document right here.
Don't call her.
Don't call Abaquao. Great job, Abs. Nailed it. Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I used to be a businessman. And as a businessman, I'm going to keep the pen. For my trouble. Hey, guys. We're...
Don't call Abigail.
Thank you for your services, gentlemen. Should we go and mail these? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Okay, what? Of course. Drink first, story later. Classy.
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George. But around here, I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder / junior partner at a high concept creative service. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on it. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying, it did, with my trusty Sansaric, but now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass so I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I wish I were Tequila. I wish I were. I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was... People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't...
Heavy is the head.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office, but when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want... So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there...
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, At one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have it. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. I wasn't a high-concept creative director. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative... Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost...
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila? If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market. Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language.
Sounds intriguing. What say... If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know. It was fucking awesome. Until I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away. What? You've never seen 100% Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about... Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TN, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward. And then there's the smell. But you don't eat...
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a...
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. I'm all ears, Tequila. I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift. Then I can't keep on telling the stories. What's in a name?
Don't call...
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something... I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services. So you don't want to just hear the same story again? Okay. Okay. Huh. cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule in Celinda. The rest of the kids are dead now. Car accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain.
particularity of snow always reminds me of the...
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. Oh, sweet, sweet Of course, officer. Memories are all we have.
Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how we do it. First, you give that's how we split it. It's the best way. Street way. Word on the street is, you sent your little friend in dressed as a hooker, distraction style. That's some sick shit. Kuno wants to hear all about it, but first we split the kilo, then we shoot the shit. Kuno knows what Kuno means.
Kuno means gram.
All right. Kuno knew you'd try that.
Tell him,
Kuno's got brains. This shit doesn't surprise Kuno. So Kuno's gonna give you one.
Major fucking...
Kuno won't take this shit lightly. The pieces are moving, pig. This is fucking domino
It's hard to see how not giving a boy a bag of amphetamine would cause... Hard to see, but easy to feel. Somehow, this will... It's not hard to see at all. You hand out drugs to kids. The lieutenant's faith in your judgment will diminish significantly. None that you can see. No, you can see it. This young man has junior officer material in him. In another life.
Tick, 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 tick. Decision time. What's it gonna be? You gonna fuck the Kuno? All right, you fucked the Kuno. Everybody, Kuno got fucked by his pocket pig.
I told you he can't be trusted. I told you.
Relax, see? We got plenty of kilo. Kilo underground, in the tree. This ain't about that. This is about you and Kuno. You mismanaged...
There is genuine disappointment below the act, sire. In truth, Kuno doesn't really believe there's anything you can do to make up for this. The damage is irreparable.
Yeah? How the fuck are you still alive, pig? What? Fuck right. Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum. Kuno told ya. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about... You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. Kuno's fucking violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window. Kuno's not fucking trying to be tough. This shit is real. Kuno's fucking violent dad's gonna be a vegetable. Kuno's gonna go out like that too. Gonna be just like Kuno's violent dad. Speed.
Stop saying all this sad shit, Kuno.
There's a touch of grief in there.
Fuck are you talking sad? Kuno's got hard shit, death shit, nothing shit. get your fucking nun-ass out of here before Kuno fucks it dead. You think 'cause you took Kuno's speed, Kuno's gonna sub like a turn into... Kuno ain't turning into shit. Kuno is that
Kuno won! Oh, you won, Kuno!
Yeah, so fucking what? Fuck are you talking to Kuno about that kiddie shit?
He's trying to fuck you.
Fuck out of here. Kuno knows it's fucking lame. That's why Kuno changed it. Kuno can change his name into anything.
Don't change your name into that, Kuno.
The fuck do you know about Kuno's life? Kuno's got plans.
Yeah, we got plans.
Fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or some shit. Yeah, that's right. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about that electricity and light shit. Just wants to pound on people and drink. That's right. It's a shithole. Kuno's gonna move underground, Leroy shit, ancient shit.
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno.
That didn't change shit, pig. That only made things worse. Fucking social worker shit.
It doesn't work, Kuno. Only our shit.
She must repeat it. Use every chance to confirm that version of reality.
Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
You take the legal... The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull right now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality.
Was it a good idea on the lieutenant's part to get into this? Don't even answer that. Just leave. You can always come back later, on your own terms.
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitch.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of the presentation you want to take home with you, cop man.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These skull people are more than an authority. They're deities. It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertnay.
Besmertine, or the Besmerti.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus...
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you with...
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the...
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull. By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are... The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Old man, it doesn't matter. You'll be long gone before his greatness is recognized. Yep, old as fuck.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around.
Apart from the unions, then...
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
Throw him off his game.
Yeah, no need to throw your authority.
That's right. Wait.
You want to talk? Let's talk, boys. Ask them.
He liked how you decisively shut down a situation that could have turned into a farce.
What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person. Even though the statement has character, the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative. What I mean by this is, we are all pissed.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field. Even I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are... Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Yes? Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan. What are you implying? For what? The concept of getting dressed is familiar to me, but wearing jackets like these isn't appropriate for an RCM officer, unless he's deep undercover. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right, especially considering your...
That's an origin story for a...
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you? Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a...
These punks don't know anything.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter? So what do you think we know? Nope. But you already said she's a skull. The last I saw her, she was hanging around the old apartment building near... That ride is fucking...
Hey! Look who it is! Shrunk...
That ride is fucking
Hey! Look who it is! Shrunken cop head material!
Something.
It's always good to see you. I understand. I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's for what it's worth. I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Is it? Something is off here. Shush. I can't hear what she's...
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you...
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd got.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
I know that. But the people around here, They don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them. You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Because I'm an idiot.
Idiot? She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw he kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Orania.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewis County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewis conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Luskop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papa.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to...
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
One of them killed themselves because of me. How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it? That would do the trick, yes. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together.
I knew he was dead. before he fell down on top of me.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never...
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things.
This doesn't fit with the testimony of Titus Hardy. He said she was higher than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Ruby.
The leader?
The Hardy boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. Does she also party with Ruby, however? What are you trying to be? Tactful? She wouldn't mind. Go on then.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, but I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armor too. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When he was shot? I may have.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Last week, Angus and Titus's brother...
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. He's thinking, are we done here?
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions. Okay. What? Why would I put myself through this? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never.
It could have been a desire murder. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around, close to her hand. A military weapon using jacketed ammunition.
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor. I don't know. His friends have rifles. Maybe those psychos did it. Coalition military have rifles.
She might have been a tad disingenuous when she avoided talking about the bullet in his head before.
I've said I'm sorry. What more do you want me to say? I did my best not to lie. It didn't always work. I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Like what?
But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal. Most shocking details of the sexual. If you have doubts, just give us one example of deceit. Just one, and we will gladly change our minds. Who is this personhood picking these seditious options? Can't you see that? Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. This is making you look like an amateur. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the ray. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it. 72%, with a weapon that fires jacketed ammunition, likely a rifle. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possibility? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are 700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinaise perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
I was just thinking.
Could he be a member of the homosexual? Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up. A man like you can figure out his sexuality in a working day. It won't be 20 hours unless you want to enter the heightened realms of the phantasme erotique afterwards. Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window. Nothing, as before.
What's this weird?
I think he's trying to find dirt on us, in our box.
Wow, no. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, because they like to sniff around.
He's just trying to sound clever. He hasn't.
It's you again. What is it? Why? You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible.
How many times?
Yeah, fuck off.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation...
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
It's you again. What is it?
Nothing is happening. The pieces are there, but they remain unconnected. Sorry, you're not coming up with anything. Again, the pieces are there. She could have done it. Somehow. Something else. Walla walla bing bang. Still nothing. But that's okay. This doesn't have to turn into some kind of... Let's look at this as a learning experience. What are the components? No. He needs to say 500 layers and I can't remember the first line.
You know, I'm beginning to think this clown is squinting at...
Nah, boss, he's just mentally
He's thinking.
He fires a nod of solidarity in your direction, as if to say, take your time, it's okay. Here you go. Access to the roof, weapon, and motive. That's not too hard. And here is what you can do to make it even easier. Come on, guys. For starters, you could find out what's behind that mystery door in the kitchen. If it's a secret route, she could have used that to get to the roof. Can't get through the door? You know what would help. Doing a thorough search of this room. Maybe you could crack Classia's last defenses. Maybe she'll tell you, say, 500 layers and I can't remember. No. He already said that. And nothing good came of it. Just, it's that simple.
Unless we have more business, we should.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. Thin, see-through copy of paper. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper. You see a heavy steel door with a... It could be connected to the barred door upstairs. The door doesn't. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to... It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined.
Can I got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting money? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Give me a moment.
She mumbles, some kind.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? I don't believe it. I've never known those.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Thank you for passing on the message. Now run along, Piggy. What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Oh, all right, Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board said no reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deep. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts, yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
That ride is...
Hey! Look who it is! Shrunken cop head material!
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by... It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Orani's pharmacy. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since... The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell. And the wonderful...
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Hard to say. The client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries. Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then. 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on... Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in... Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to... It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh?
And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving.
I'm gonna enjoy...
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun.
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says...
It's worth a try. You see, it could be connected to the bar. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort. Dust rises before you like mist. No. Smells like engine. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in, and feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean era.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and at Vesperasket, the Lieutenant grimaces looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball.
He doesn't.
No. You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the...
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. Kim Pinball Kitsuragi. Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing light. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop. It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents. Not only to you, I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi to everyone. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the...
This small elevator smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is the maintenance card under the control panel reads, last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century, look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries.
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descente, and an international. A small steel plaque reads, Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long...
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue. Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are
a creek
downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it. Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said, this has absolutely nothing.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be it's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and God ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately,
between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know? But it's not an argument for her either. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say.
Everything around you is quiet. The prince
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot these prints, officer. Could be the prints of our killer. And if not, at least there are a good argument for this Ruby doing it.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in...
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensation. This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could have...
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series. Yes, it is quite likely that we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Yeah? I did not. Do you think this has something to do with what...
It's possible.
A peephole? You mean...
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of...
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Huh.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun. Mm-hmm.
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed, forehead furrowed.
Yeah. I've contaminated it. The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door. For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning service. Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
Somewhere below, military-grade sad is dripping off the walls. You should say the first thing. It's honest. It will lead to introspection.
That's where it always comes from, isn't it? From the head and from the past. Sounds like an advanced form of what I've got, with a bit of old love sprinkled on top. Love is terror. All right.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay. Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless. You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugograd in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music-infused alcoholism.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alasie is my father's name. That's cool.
She doesn't feel like a Klasia. She feels like nothing.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was...
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single...
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
You are. This is not the end of this. Regular law official. You've done it, Harry. Whatever else you are, you're also boring now. It was not easy. You spent most of your life trying to funk up every nook and cranny of your personality. When someone says something political, the first three thoughts in your head are a ludicrous hodgepodge of communism, fascism, and stock tips. When they ask you why you did something, it's superstardom, apocalypse, or the mea culpas of the flagellant cop monk. It's not easy reaching for the fourth option, the normal one. But you have. And now, you're not just crazy.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I do hear you make noise back there. Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. The machine we have, it wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one...
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the... He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
What wall? I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the whirling does not... Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing. Everyone knows of it. I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the whirling. Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that. Some real estate management company, they never come around here, just collect money from afar.
There is an acrimonious note. It's clear he's doing the real work around here.
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real...
It was you?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're...
Good pick.
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ig...
You're guessing there aren't that many others.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinball.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up? Yes?
The bullet is still safely sealed away. in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic. You can't remember what happened last week. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm models?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans.
So that's what you were squinting at. You were trying to come up with a theory, weren't you?
Yeah, he was cobbling together shit so he could put her away.
Well, let old Titus set your mind at ease.
Sunday night, 11:30 to 12:50.
No.
That's a lie.
All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry.
Could this complex operation be the one Joyce asked you to look into? Probably, though they'll never open up about it.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
How? People say there was a pin.
East Delta Pinball Arcade.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down.
That's quite the theory.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift.
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof, but a route does not put that bullet in his head.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
That looks antique. A Bell McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get...
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought...
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
You lost your gun?
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? Of course not. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not... This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder were...
Wait. Did he say you don't have big guns? No. Just say you're honest with him. Don't challenge him.
A broken old broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
I don't knock up. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this.
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it?
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit.
Time for a logics demonstration. scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's just...
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her?
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good. Silence. The old man in the corner. A very small nod. This is the only option he could.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard. She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminating.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. I told you. You. No, you, as in the cop with the sideburn.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Why not? You look about ready to do something pretty crazy because some bird fucked you over. It seems you have that effect, especially on...
Right. That's the second one now.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes. Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener.
Fucking hell. Titus...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it. Whack him. Or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
You are insistent.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught he. But she was too... She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry. So...
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back...
Yeah, Al. And we won't.
She's not really a party candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little.
Where have you looked for her?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Sure, there's some shithouses there, a cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you.
We will start there. One more question.
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material. No, he already is a sergeant. That's what you're feeling. He just wasn't sure what you are.